Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. For today's episode, I want to talk about the Jackpot culture. This Jackpot culture is not ending anytime soon, and we are having like people sharing their stories of the effects of Jackpot culture, especially to people in a relationship or people who plan to jackpot together or travel out together, and it did not work out for them. So there is this lady who came out and told her story online. She said that she graduated from the university, did a youth service, there was no job, so she decided to get into teaching. She got a teaching job, she was doing the teaching job, and the salary was nothing to write home about, but she was trying to just get something to take care of her basic needs. She said she was doing the job and praying for God to bless her with a different job or a better paying job. So while she was doing this job, she met a guy. They became friends. One thing led to the other. They started sleeping with each other, according to her, to ease frustration. To ease frustration. And according to her, she's broke. This guy is broke. They just tension. They just wanted to ease tension. That was why they started sleeping together. Fast forward, a few months later, she got pregnant. So when she got pregnant, she started telling the guy, okay, let's go and see your parents and all that kind of thing. You know how friends with benefit become something else. And the guy was not having it because maybe he was not thinking about marrying her. According to her, they were just sleeping together to ease frustration. So when she got pregnant, she started pressuring the guy to take her to see his parents, because obviously now there's a child involved. The guy refused until she said she was about 9 months pregnant when the guy actually took her to his parents. She said she met them. She didn't reveal if they got married or not, but she just said she met the parents and her parents also met the guy. So they had a child, and 6 months later, this guy lost his job, and she was now the one. I think from that point, obviously they moved in together and started living together. So she said he lost his job 6 months later. Things became very difficult because they were now living. She was now catering for the family, basically for her child and for him, on her 6 months, on her salary, that teacher's salary, which even before then was nothing to write home about. She said she started researching on how to get better paying job and get more money or big money. So somebody told her about being a surrogate for people. She said after doing the whole research, she got a company in Lagos who told her, oh, everything is fine. They got her a client. She got pregnant after going through the whole IVF stuff. She got pregnant, had twins for these people. They paid her very well. So before then, when she was going through all that process, she was thinking she would use the money to start up a business. But her baby daddy told her, why not we just travel, use this money and travel. When I travel, I will make arrangements for you to join me. I will be sending you money in the meantime for upkeep before I sort myself out. She felt, okay, that is a better idea. Instead of starting this business, it's better for him to use this money and jackpot. That once he's traveled, he will be sending money to her. Once they paid her the money, she took the money, gave her baby daddy. This guy started processing the papers. He got a visa. She didn't really tell us what kind of visa he got, but according to her, he got a visa and traveled to the UK 2 years ago, which this was 2020. Maybe this was before the pandemic, or maybe 2021 that he traveled. Anyway, she said 2 years ago he traveled. So after he traveled, she said he sent her money once, and since then he has not sent her any money. So let's just say that this guy traveled maybe beginning of the pandemic, or before the pandemic, let's say January or February. That was when he traveled, and this guy just hit the country and pandemic hit. We're talking about the UK. The UK went into lockdown in March of 2020. So maybe he just got in and he was able to work for a few weeks, sent a couple of pounds, and then there was lockdown, and she said since then he has not called her, he has not sent any money. This is 2 years now. She has not heard anything from him. He is not contacting her. That after she went through the whole surrogacy, got pregnant, had the baby, took the money and gave it to him thinking he was going to help her, and now she is left hanging. She said she went to the parents, or to the mother of the boy. She told him, or she told her what happened, and she said that she should just move on with her life. She said she was angry. That's why she's coming on social media now to to tell her story of what happened to her with the whole Japa culture thing. Now, thinking about this logically, like sometimes you hear stories and people are emotional about certain things. You're saying, okay, this guy is wicked. How can he travel and use her money to travel and then not even call her or contact her or tell her anything that is going on, and not even send her money? I think the problem here is the first of all, the first problem I saw here is that you went through this process, you carried these babies, you went through the process of IVF, you got pregnant, you had twins, and instead of why don't you use that money to jackpot yourself? It's not like you're not educated, you're educated. You could easily get a master's degree. If that money is not that enough, you could, that visa that he processed for himself, you could have done that yourself and use it. Is your money, and use it to travel, but you chose to give it to a man that is not even your husband, that is the baby daddy. You chose to give it to him, and now you're complaining online. I am not saying that the guy is blameless. I'm not saying that, oh, the guy did the right thing. But the reality is, most times when people travel, it takes, especially somebody that traveled during the pandemic, there was lockdown. He probably was homeless. He probably was not working. He probably was just, couldn't even take care of himself at that point. People don't understand the effect of the pandemic. We are in recession at this point in the UK. This is as a result of not just the pandemic, but the war in Ukraine. Cost of living has skyrocketed. People are not even able to afford basic things in the UK, not even to talk of now saving money and sending to people in Nigeria. Especially if you don't have your stay. I mean, she didn't tell us how he traveled, whether he traveled as a student or I strongly believe that he traveled as a visitor. Now, you're traveling as a visitor. How do you're thinking, okay, I think the problem is people just think all they need to do is just to travel. Once they travel, when they get there, they're going to sort out their life. It go shock you. It go shock you. And until you that took your money, you took your money and you gave to a man. I am not saying don't give men your money, but there's this concept, there's this thing about Nigerian, especially Nigerian women or African women, that they need to give money to men. You see a Nigerian woman work hard, do everything, and she will take that money and give to a man just for him to feel manly, just for him to, because he's the head of the... Listen, you worked for that money, you got pregnant, you had to go through that, your body went through all those changes, carrying twins, and you took the money and you give son of Adam. You gave it to a son of Adam. And now you're complaining. He probably is homeless in the UK right now. He probably is roaming the streets. He probably is in detention center. He probably is in jail. You don't even know. Maybe that is why he's not contacting you. You don't know. And because you're not even married to him, you cannot go to the mother and claim, what do you want her to tell you? You want her to tell you to sit down and wait for her son for whenever he's ready. She told you that as a woman. Listen, you have to move on with your life. And you're bitter. You're bitter. We as women, we need to do better. I mean, you as a student, if you are doing your research now, you know that the UK, they are looking for Nigerian teachers. Go and do qualifications. Go and write. Go do some qualifications and get a job and come here. But you will not do it now. You go and carry another surrogacy and carry money and give man. We need to do better. We need to believe in yourself regardless. Sometimes I think people just don't believe in themselves. They think because they are men, they can. I am not saying men. Listen, we are fighting for equal opportunities. We are fighting for equal rights. Then why do you now think that you, as a graduate, you went to school, the four walls of the university, just like he did? Why do you think he has an upper hand? I don't get it. I mean, I sympathize with you because it's heartbreaking. But looking at it from the other end, this guy might be jobless. He cannot even, maybe he's just rough sleeping on the streets. Maybe he's in jail. You don't even know. You don't know his condition. He arrived when there was a pandemic. Maybe right now he does not even know his left from his right. He does not even know what is. He cannot even afford 3 square meals per day, not to talk of sending you money. People need to understand that it's not just about traveling. It's not about traveling. It's not about, okay, just travel now and then start sending me pounds. That person needs to sort themselves out. That person, if he traveled as a student, he will need to go to school. Do you understand what it means to be going to school, working, trying to save money to pay off your tuition? You're still trying to pay your rent, cost of living. People don't get this. People don't do that calculation. They just think, okay, the average that I can earn in the UK in a month is £1,000. £1,000 is 1 million. That is big money. So even if he's sending me 100,000 every month, that is okay. But you're not calculating, what about rent? What about cost of living? What about feeding? Like, you're not even putting all those things into consideration. You're just focusing on the income. Converting the income into naira. These are the issues. We need to do better. I sympathize with her, but I think, Auntie, you don't know his situation. You don't know. Before you start dragging him, go and do some qualifications and come and join him in the UK. You are a teacher. The UK people are looking for teachers right now. Don't go and do another surrogacy and carry the money and give to another man. Don't do it. Let us have sense. This is 2023. Let us have sense. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode. If you have any advice for this lady, please leave it in the comment section. And I mean, there's been advice flowing, flying left, right, center. But I think she'll be all right. Last, she'll be all right. Her child will be all right. Even the guy in the UK, he'll be able to sort himself out. And I wish them all the best. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like, and share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.